Today I'm going to show you how to put this radio in this vehicle, my WJ. First of all, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. Take out this tray that I've got in my hand, and there's two screws right down in the tray area that you need to take out. Next we'll take a pry tool. This is a plastic trim tool to pop out this console. Don't be afraid to get in there and really pop it. It's only held in with fasteners. Then you'll see these three wires to it. This is the light, and I won't be using it, so you hit the tab right there and you pop it right out. And then on each side I've got two cigarette lighter type power stations there. And it's just a tab. You take your screwdriver and pop that tab right out and it comes right out. So do that to both sides and then you'll be able to take out that whole console. Okay, once you get this out the Jeep, you take off those connectors like I showed you, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this plate right here. So I have the Torx. I think it's a small Torx, and you take these screws off right here. Get a little bit more light in here. Okay, it's about all the light we're going to get. So take that little screw off, and then there's one on the other side right here. Take it out. I've already unscrewed them away so you can see. Take those two out, and then I can take this plate out. It just comes right out. I'm going to use this plate for mounting. But then I want to get this door off because I'm not going to use that. It won't fit with the door on there. So it's just hinged on the inside. Or the other side. There you go. Pull this side off and it'll come right out. So I won't use the cigarette lighter portion of it or the ashtray portion of it. So I'll set that aside. So what the idea is to mount this radio and mount it in like this, so I can't really use the door. I want to make it look as professional as possible. So what I'll do is now this particular radio, the speaker is right here, and so I couldn't mount it the way it looks, or I wouldn't be able to hear it. Now you can do it that way because it does have an external speaker jack in it if you mounted another speaker somewhere else, which I might do later if this doesn't work that well. But they made it so you can flip it. And if you look on the directions, it'll tell you how to flip the display. So the idea is I'm going to mount it right on there with the speaker down so I'll be able to hear and just flip the display. So I need to get it centered correctly, and right there is about where it needs to be centered. So what I need to do now, what I'll do is I'll just mount it to this with industrial Velcro. Now it comes with it, so yeah, it's some 3M, some really strong stuff. So you don't have to go out and buy any. It comes all in the box, so that's pretty nice. So here it is right here. Might have to trim it a little bit, looks like. That's not a problem. So I can mount that. Actually, I would go that route. Go that direction. That would work better. So I'll just put that on there, and then I just have to mount this. Make sure I got the orientation right. I see it goes in like that. So I'll just mount that right there. Easiest way to do it though is to mount it on here and then stick this on the Velcro part. I'll show you that. Okay, first of all, I want to use some rubbing alcohol and clean this place off. I got a nice little cotton swab, so I want to clean that real good, and then clean this. So it's going to stick. There we go. Let that dry out. And then I'll just peel that back. Put that on there. Put that back. Put that on the back end here. Okay. Now, like I say, the best way to do this next part is just to put these Velcro pieces right on. And then I just have to peel these off, sticky part. And it says this sets up in 24 hours. The sticky 3M glue on this Velcro will set up in 24 hours and it's very strong. Okay, I kind of have an idea where it needs to be. And right below the, oh, that was quick. That's not where I wanted it. There we go. Make sure I can reattach. Right about. Make sure my fingers it's got in the center, right there. And then just push it down real good. Get that glue to adhere. And see what that'll do is it'll fit right in here. See how that works? So that should look pretty good in my Jeep. Now what I'll have to do, because of the back here is where your antenna and your power goes. The mic will hook into there, but as you can see, I need to cut out a portion. So put that in there. Kind of see where I need to be. I need to cut out a square right where that is, so I can bring my power lines in and my antenna. So I got this pin. And I'm just going to go ahead and mark. I'll take a Dremel tool and I'll cut out a nice square piece. Right about there. Okay. So you can see that this square piece right here is what I need to cut out. I'll take my Dremel cutoff wheel and just cut that right out of there. Doesn't have to be real pretty because you won't see it. That worked out pretty good. I didn't want to get too much of this cut out because that little these ends stick in there, these holes. But yeah, that Dremel works great. Just cut out a little hole and this fits right in. And now you see, got plenty of room for the, there we go. Just like that. So to reinstall this, to reattach this, I first need to get the power cord. I'm going to hardwire it. So I'm taking the left power from the cigarette lighter and I'm going to take off the insulation so I can expose those wires. Next I'll cut them, and I saw this way to attach or splice in my radio, so I'll still have the cigarette lighter portion that'll actually work. So strip the wires so you have enough wire to work with, and do it to both sides. One's positive, one's negative, red and black. I gotta strip the other side. What's up? This is a technique I've seen on YouTube where you could splice in. I still want to get my cigarette lighter to work, so I saw this on YouTube. So I'll have access to radio power. And let me get a different crimp. Crimp that on. Now I can wire the radio right into that. Now to install my wire for the antenna, I found this nice channel in the weather stripping. So just put your wire all the way down in there and just pop it in there with the screwdriver or whatnot. You can get it right down in there and it's not going to come out. So ease it down in there all the way from the top. It's a magnetic mount, so I have the antenna on the roof, and that wire's coming all the way down that weather stripping. Just work it in nice and easy. Don't poke a hole through it. I want that wire to come through the dash. So after taking the screws out and removing the panel, I'm going to drill a hole in the side here because there's no other way to route that wire in. I can fit that antenna wire right through that hole and through the dash to the other side to the radio. Couldn't get my fingers in there, so here I'm using a snake tool. I'm going to work it up in there and grab the wire with my snake tool to get it through. I'll show you how to get this jockey box back together. There's these two rubber attachments and they go right up in here. You push them in and then I'll put in the other side. So when you remove this door, you have to pull those off first before you can get that whole door to come down. But to reinstall it, you just push those rubber attachments back into place. And then when you shut the door, they'll just pop in. And that's how that door goes back in. Here you can see how I took out that panel. There's a screw right here. Tighten that up. And it's just a regular Phillips. And then there's another screw right here that you saw earlier. We'll tighten that back up. It's not in the way. And we'll just tuck it down in there right with some good cavity down in here. Just tuck it down in there. Okay. That's ready to plug in. Alright, so here it is. There's our piece we cut out. To plug in cigarette lighter. Snap that in. I'm not going to use the light, so I pulled it out. So put the power in through the hole. And the antenna wire, and then I'll plug this back in. Okay, now everything's plugged in. Now we should be able to pop it right back in there. Okay. There. Plug it in. Antenna first. Doesn't matter which order, but you gotta figure out the antenna nice and tight. And then the power. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Wango bango. Now this should just Velcro right up to that. Boom. Boom chakalaka laka. There it is. And I can put this back in. And you won't even know it's there. Oops, wrong way. My little tray in. There. Not too bad. And I still have that power point, this power point. They both are wired up. Now I just need to figure out where to put my mic, where to mount it. Here, I'll show you the finished product. I apologize for the light in here. So I ended up mounting it right here. This is a nice little spot. There it is. So let's see if it works. Turn on my key. And we turn it on. It works. There, the light's on. Maybe see it a little bit better. But how you just flip the display, because mine's upside down. I wanted the speaker down on the bottom. You turn it off. And then you hold the down button, which in this case would be the up because it's flipped. Just hold it as you turn it on. There you go. And now it's display is all flipped and all your buttons are flipped, so it all works. So it's either way. This worked out pretty good. I don't think it looks too bad.